Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.
Welcome to Peter and Roughie's Football Show, sponsored by Arnold Clark. It is great to be back. I'm Peter Martin. Thank you very much for tuning in to our show here on YouTube and on this Monday. We welcome back in 2020 Alan Rough, Alison McConnell and Barry Ferguson here with me, and this is what we are going to be talking about. Lots of things to discuss, lots of things to argue about as well. Roughie, it is absolutely fantastic to be back, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You don't realise how much you miss coming in and meeting the guys, you know, you're away for like 2 or 3 weeks, and it's just great to be here. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, there you are. There's some sincerity oozing out of Roughie there. And of course, Barry, we don't want to obviously poke you with any sort of pin, because you'll spontaneously combust, because suddenly Rangers are in a right good position starting the new year.
Yep, they certainly are. Fantastic performance at Celtic Park, and a thoroughly deserved win for me. They've shown in the Betfred final that they can certainly compete with Celtic, and that had given them a lot of confidence to go to Celtic Park with the belief that they could win the game, and certainly for me, they deserve to win the game.
Yeah, I don't think you've got any argument out of anyone on this panel. And of course, January is the window which not too many managers like to sign a lot of players. But I think Celtic fans are hoping that Neil Lennon is as active as he's suggesting, Alison.
I think no sooner had the whistle blown in that game on the 29th than people immediately were saying, right, what does Celtic do in the window now? This has to be your response to the game, has to be in what you do now. You've got the funds there, you've got money in the bank. If you can go and spend it wisely, you have an opportunity, in theory, to kick on a bit. We've seen one in today, or just about in today. I think he's over for his medical, and I fully suspect that there'll be a few more before the window finishes.
Yeah, Patrick Klimala, 4.5-year deal, Roughie, for this young striker. He's got a bit of a pedigree, 24 goals in 76 games. I think he's had a couple of shaky periods in his career, but now he's got his head down and he looks as if he's a prospect.
Yeah, well, again, you know, that's the way Celtic seem to be going. You know, 20, 21 years of age, you know, everything in front of them. I'm sure we'd all agree we don't know much about him. So they'll be hoping at the level that he's going to be playing at here that he'll score goals, obviously Europe as well. And he's a backup, you know, if he does produce the goods, obviously if something does happen in the summer and Celtic were to lose their big signing. So I think, no, it's... like Alison, I think there has to be another 2 or 3. I think the whole squad needs to be freshened up. I think everybody knows the quality's there defensively, midfield, up front. But it doesn't matter what team you're at. You need fresh faces, people who have got targets to set, and it just lifts everybody with them.
Yeah, Patrick Klimala's arrival at Celtic, for me, looks as if over the next 6 months could signal the end for Lee Griffiths. I just wonder whether Neil Lennon will look long-term and think Griffiths is still in his plans. I think Celtic might be looking to offload him in the summer. If you look back over the last couple of seasons, albeit all the problems he's had personally, I think on the field, the evidence that is there for all to see. It's just not enough at this level, Alison. I think his days are numbered.
It's just not happened at all these past few months. There's been no momentum, there's been no fluency. I don't think he's had the opportunity to get to the level that you need to play competitive first team football. I don't think he's been anywhere near it. It doesn't augur well that there's another striker coming in, and it doesn't augur well that there was a very clear need for another striker to come in. The problem is, what's the next step? Does he stay and try and fight for his fight for his place? You've got Kamara today saying he doesn't anticipate being second choice. As a boy that's obviously coming with the kind of ambition that you would want if you're spending that amount of money on a striker. So he's clearly coming to try and push Edward, which you have to think then pushes Griffiths further down the pecking order. But with a 4-year contract signed just last year, where does he go in terms of the finances that are there? We've all spoken and suggested a loan move to Hibs would be the natural. You would anticipate that would be the natural return for him. I think Neil Lennon said at the end of the window last month, that he didn't want to lose him, that he still wanted to keep him. But I think if he's going to do anything, he has to play some football now.
Yeah, 3 goals this season, 6 goals last season, 14 maybe the season before. For me, that's not enough. I mean, he's over the decade, he's been one of the top goal scorers in Scottish football, Barry, but it's not enough for me.
It's not. He needs to go and play, Peter. As simple as that. I don't think he's going to do that at Celtic. If Edward's fit and available, he's going to be the number one. Obviously, they've signed this boy coming in for a lot of money as well. So for me, I think the best solution for Celtic would to loan him out for the last 3-4 months of the season. Go and let him get a certain amount of games, see if he can start banging goals in, and then bring him back and then make a decision over the summer. Yeah,
well, if Celtic fans were looking and thinking there wasn't really going to be a title race, they would pull away from Rangers. They've got another thing coming. Now let's have a look at the comparison between last season, where Celtic fans were well aware that Rangers were top of the league at this point, and the comparisons between that and this season. As you can see with the games that have been played, Celtic and Rangers not dropping as many points this time around, Roughie. You can look at it there. Celtic, after 20 games, 52 points against the 50 of Rangers. Rangers with that game in hand. But you can see right away that marked improvement from Rangers.
Yeah, and I think the way it's been going for the part of the season, that they are head and shoulders above everybody else. I think Barry said at one stage, I think Rangers had 7 games, wasn't it, Barry? You said you didn't expect them to drop any points at all. That just shows you how far they are ahead of everybody. And if that's the way it's going to continue from now to the end, these big games are going to be really, really important. And obviously the next Rangers-Celtic one's at Ibrox, and they will see that as another one. I mean, before that last game, we were all talking about Celtic being 8 points clear. Look how that's changed in a matter of 2 games. So these big games will be really, really important.
Yeah, the difference is that there's a belief, there's a momentum, there's a manager that's instilling confidence in every one of the players, Barry. And when you look at last season, Rangers coming out of the new year lost to Kilmarnock, had 3 draws, subsequently in the March lost to Celtic, and by then the league was gone. This season, I'm not so sure. This is the big test now. How will they respond and make the results different from last year?
Well, there's certainly a different mindset. That's for everybody to see. I know you mentioned Kilmarnock last season. They had a similar performance at Ibrox before the Old Firm. They weren't great, but they managed to get the 3 points with Morelos coming on and scoring the winning goal. So that's the difference for me. And obviously going to Celtic Park, where they've struggled for many a years, and to me they looked a team full of confidence with a steely determination that there's no fear anymore. So Rangers in a good place. As you says, it'll mean nothing if they've went away after the break and they come back and they start off the first game or 2 not in top form. They need to come back and hit the ground running, and then you can say, right, you know what, Rangers are ready to really challenge Celtic. But you can see that there's no fear anymore.
Yeah. And the other thing about it as well, Barry, is it's, like Neil Lennon, Steven Gerrard has got big decisions to make with the people that he has in the squad. Obviously, there are fringe players and players from the reserves. I mean, Zach Rudden's gone to Partick Thistle, so he's taking out some of the wages to try and maybe free it up for additional players coming in. He's thrown down the gauntlet to Jordan Jones, but you've got guys like Jamie Murphy there, Glenn Middleton. Will they have a future? Docherty as well. Those players might have to go out to give Steven Gerrard maybe the chance to add 1, 2, do you think?
Yeah, but I think he made it clear about 3 or 4 weeks before the window opened that these players don't have a future and they need to go and start playing football. And I think if these players do go, it will free up a bit of wages to maybe go and get somebody, whether it's a loan. But I think the best time to always strengthen is when you're on top of your game. And it always adds competition. It's clearly there's a lot of confidence, but you don't want guys thinking, right, you know what, there's nobody there to challenge me. He needs people on that bench that are breathing down the necks of the starting 11.
Yeah, okay. You still think Jordan Jones has a future?
Yep, I do. He's a player that I always liked at Kilmarnock. He came in And his Rangers career didn't get off to a great start. Obviously, that crazy challenge against Celtic. But hopefully he's went away and thought long and hard about it. And I think the way Steven Gerrard talks about it, I think he fancies him a player. So it's now up to him to go and challenge to try and get in that starting 11.
Yep, okay. Everybody's been offering their tuppence worth on Team of the Decade from 2010 onwards. It's our first programme back. We thought we'd offer you, a proposed 11 based on 2010 all the way through to 2020. Roughie, what do you make of this team selection? We've gone for McGregor, Lustig, Van Dijk, Weir and Tierney. And then it's obviously Callum McGregor, Scott Brown and Chris Commons, Forrest, Griffiths and Niall McGinn of Aberdeen. What do you make of it?
Yeah, well, I think it's obviously heavy laden because of the success that Celtic have had over the last decade. You know, and most of these players were part of the run they had in the league, so I don't really have a problem with that. It just shows you, that the rest of the teams haven't been up to scratch, or the players haven't been up to scratch. And that's obviously because of Celtic's dominance. So, yeah, I think Barry was saying if he was given more chance, he might find a couple of players to take the Celtic players out. But we'll have to wait for another show for that.
he's unbelievable, isn't he? I mean, obviously, listen, believe me, it's not a long enough show because Ruffy's absolutely right. Fergie's been trying to think of a couple of Rangers players that can get in there. Ali, is there anybody we've missed out maybe?
I'm just curious who your manager of the decade is.
Well, there you are. That's a very good one. You're at the noise up as well, by the way. But if you're looking for manager of the year, I mean, Rodgers gets it.
Of the decade? Manager of the decade?
Brendan Rodgers. I think Brendan Rodgers gets it, by a landslide because you just don't. You can talk about Neil Lennon getting the last bit of the treble, but this is a man who had a team that were on an invincible run. The Invincibles of 69 games is just, I mean, it deserves a special mention. Whether you like him or not and what he did and how he left Celtic, Brendan Rodgers, manager over the decade. Do you agree with that, Barry?
Yeah, you can't argue with the amount of trophies he won. And as you say, the amount of games that they went unbeaten. And you've got to agree, look, the vast majority are going to be Celtic players because they've dominated Scottish football for so long.
There's only one player, Barry, in the last decade that has not been a Celtic player that's won the Player of the Year award in Scotland. Can you name him? One player has managed to win Player of the Year, and it's not been a Celtic player since 2010. And before 2010, it was Stephen Davis of Rangers. Mm-hmm. So that tells you how strong Celtic have been in their dominance. Have you got the name? Roughie, you've got to give us the name. Eh?
Michael Higdon's the one I was thinking of.
That's it, Roughie. I was actually going to give you an extra clue and say he get bevied with us too and then get arrested.
Just about to say, he celebrated in very traditional style.
Well, I was going to say, no, the problem was he started hanging about with us too, and then the next minute he was huckled. But nevertheless, Michael Higdon. So that shows you. I mean, can you think of anybody else that we maybe missed in that side? I mean, Commons was top drawer at the
scored a lot of goals.
Scored a lot of goals.
Yeah. Scott Brown, you can't argue.
Griffiths, top scorer for the decade.
I think it's quite sad when you see Griffiths in there and you think where he is now. He's still a young man.
Yeah.
Chris Boyd, Kenny Miller. I'm just trying to come up with it.
we're not having it.
Listen, Scott Brown, he's won many trophies. He's been a driving force. James Forrest, for me, his consistency level over 5, 6, 7 years. Callum McGregor the same. I mean, David Weir, I think it's a good choice. Alan McGregor for me is the best goalkeeper.
Yeah, I agree.
No doubt about that.
Yep, it's all subjective. I'm sure you'll come up with a few. Fire them out there on our YouTube channel, on Twitter and on Facebook as well. Listen, Hearts, Hibs, contrasting fortunes in the capital. We'll look at Liverpool. Are they marching towards their first title since Kenny Dalglish was in charge? It's a long time ago. I don't think even the most ardent of Liverpool fan would have believed they've had to wait this long. I think 1990 was the last time Liverpool won the league. It's incredible. What a long wait. We'll talk about that. And as ever in 2020, we like to give things away. We've been giving away signed Lionel Messi tops. I have to say, Mrs. McCarthy in Edinburgh was absolutely delighted with her prize. You could be a winner too. Yeah, there you are. Is it an easy one to start off 2020? It must be. Barry's got it already. So there we are. He's got his content look on his face. Listen, all the speculation, I love the window, if only for the fact that many players get linked. Roughie, agents are doing their bit, telling journalists here tell him he's in for this. Look at Ali ready to explain to me what journalists get up to. But anyway, apart from anything else, journalists love nothing better, and I've jumped into it myself, Roughie, a flyer on a player here and there.
Yeah, and the people who love it more than anything else is the supporters.
Yeah.
Supporters love picking up the paper in the morning and seeing the speculation of what kind of player they're going to get, and it just goes, that's what football in Scotland is all about. You know, that's that you want to see a big name player coming to your club.
Roughie, I'll never forget lifting the paper up, one of the tabloids in about 1976-77, and it just said, "Rough for Man City," and I thought, oh, he's finally going to get his big move. There you are.
Yeah, I think my wife believed that as well because she had the bags packed when I come back from training.
Has there ever been a club
for a different reason?
Well, I was going to say, has there ever been a club, Barry, you've been linked with and you thought, oh, like that?
Aye, there was a few. There was when I was coming back up with Rangers, there was Everton and Newcastle, but I just decided to come back up the road. It's a club obviously close to my heart, and you grow up a supporter, so that was the pull.
Yeah, okay, interesting stuff. What about Hearts, Roughie? It's grim stuff. I was at the Edinburgh Derby, they were ranked rotten. I'm not surprised that Daniel Stendhal has started to wield the axe, because this is a team, with an abysmal record. There are lots of heads had to roll.
Yeah. And it's becoming a blame club now. Everybody's getting the blame. Everybody's pointing fingers that it's your fault or his fault or whatever. But the new manager coming in now, he'll have to act really, really quickly. He'll have to identify players that he thinks are going to do well in our league. I still think when he gets organised, they'll be good enough to get out of the bottom two. I don't think they'll be good enough to get in the top six. But I think that'll be something that they can build on, because, as well know, fantastic stadium, fantastic support. They just need a decent team.
Yeah, absolutely, and no surprise. I think that the captain he decided that it was over for Christophe Berra. The fallout from it has been hysterical, to say the least. He needs to get his own players in and stop leaking goals. It's as simple as that. Will Hearts be relegated at the end of the season? Give us your thoughts on that as well. A couple of things to get your thoughts on, guys, before we finish. Of course, Manchester City's Sergio Aguero has out and out the top goal scorer in English Premier League history from a foreign perspective. It was absolutely sensational, wasn't it?
Yeah, I watched the game last night. Man City is a team last night. That was back to what they're capable of doing. I thought they were unbelievable. Aston Villa couldn't leave a glove on them. They couldn't get near them. But Aguero, frightening. His finishing's scary. He's one of the best players that have graced the Premier League. There's no doubt in my mind about that.
Yeah, well, his 177 goals surpassed Thierry Henry. I wonder, who do you think's the best? This is a toughie. They're different styles of strikers, low trajectory, brilliant skill, can score fantastic goals. A memorable goal against Queen's Park Rangers to win it for City on the last day. But I tend to veer towards Thierry Henry. What about you, Roughie?
Yeah, I'm Thierry Henry as well. I think the memories of some of the goals he used to score at Arsenal were just out of this world. And he's one of these strikers, that... like Aguero could walk into any top team in the world.
Ali?
I think it's a curious phenomenon that you always have to pick one who's the best.
Yeah.
Can you not celebrate the achievements of both of them and say they've both
That's what we call
played particularly well?
Let me explain broadcasting an opinion to you, Ali, for finally get a chance to batter you in 2020. It's called opinion. That's what it's all about. Go on then.
I loved watching both of them. The thing about Henry, I never thought he looked as though he was enjoying himself. He scored all these goals, but you very rarely saw a real smiley celebration. So I'm going for Aguero purely for that reason.
Finally. Hey, we got it out of her there. Hey, 2 minutes of it.
That was on that arrogance. I loved that.
Yeah.
That's what I loved about him. But I've got to pick one. It's got to be Henry.
Yeah, okay. Listen, it's a great argument. It's a great pub argument. It's a great argument in here. Ali and all of us will go out there and fight after this programme. Don't forget you can follow us across all the social media on Twitter, Facebook Live. Join us if you can. You get a chance to speak to our panellists as well and give us your opinion live every day. And over and above that, on our YouTube channel, if you subscribe, you'll get notifications that you can come and join us if you get it every day, Monday to Friday, at a time that suits you. So thank you very much to everyone who's joined us last year. This year, bigger, better. Join the football family if you can. There's more chat tomorrow on the programme. Hugh McDonald and Darren Jackson will be joining myself because obviously Roughie is taking a holiday. So soon after coming back off holiday. Well, there you are. Nevertheless, he'll be back with us on Wednesday. Thanks to Roughie, thanks to Alison, thanks to Barry Ferguson, and from myself, Peter Martin. Thanks for watching.
Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.